Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever and welcome back to Errors. We're watching one of our lovely Great Northern Railway O2 trains go thundering north up towards Ambridge, and notably it is passing the town of Reeds, and that's the focus of today's episode. We're going to get some cargo into that town and do it via trucking, and we're also going to start investing in the infrastructure around Reeds, all of the other things that are going to happen rather than just the town itself. Let's do a bit of a look-see of where we are as that guy goes thundering north. The plan is to let this train continue to express. What happens is it starts way down in the south in Lone,stone, expresses past here and goes all the way up to Ambridge. We've been working on this station over here a little bit over the last couple of episodes, and yeah, the plan is to unload here, much like this other one's come in, and then we'll go down the highway. So I think the very first thing to do is give this place a new depot. So these two are used for around town, so these are all used up. So I want to use another one of these over here, and then we can do the trucking down the line. So yeah, let's jump into it. I do want to add a bit more of a diorama to this station, and in particular, I think I can do this right now while that's doing that. What I want to do is use the lovely half platforms that are available by RadiKyle on mod.io and put in a small platform like that and put in another set of tracks in there, and then from a platform point of view, I think another set of 5 meters, and then from the lovely early cargo mod, do that, and we're going to put that there, running out of space here, but we'll hopefully be able to get this in and do that. So that way we can have another train that is destined just to come in here and drop off to do that. The plan is to go through in the future, so with both cargo and passengers, so that's why I'm kind of avoiding out here. So let's see if we can get our lovely this guy in here. We'll make it quite long, but we'll make it very thin. And can we get it in here if we reduce the tendrils? Hopefully this road, is it too close? I think it may be. Oh, there's something there that's happy. I think we might have to just move that road out a bit. That's easy enough done. So we'll undo that. Get this in here because I wanted that to be nice and tight. We'll give that 10. No fence, asphalt, high capacity, no signs. Street will be country but vanilla. I think that's about it. All right, and then let's squeeze that right in there. I'm actually going to use build it anyway and get that platform right up against the edge. And just actually I need to turn on footpath connection so that way it has tendrils and it actually connects and place, and then we can finish it off with those beautiful roads again, these nice small ones that can go there, and then hopefully we can get that into here. This one may need to be shortened. I think we can do that after the fact. Can we make it 15? And it's over that thing, which is fine. We can go build anyway for that, and then that can go over there, and voila, we have a new little compound, and I am liking it. So from a texture point of view, let's try this one. Do I want to go cracked dirt? I don't think so. I think it may be something a bit more gravelly, like that surface out there looks pretty good. And I think, yeah, let's gravelify all of this, including the station itself. And I'm going to unpaint near the road, just so we get that little verge. See that right there. And I think I'm kind of happy with that. And voila, little micro update. And I think that looks pretty good. And we'll go all the way up here as well. Yeah, and then from a train line point of view, that's pretty simple. We should be able to merge that in. And for now, we will just put a lazy lazy waypoint signal on here saying how you need to come out. And the idea is that a train comes in here and unloads for ages. We don't have anything right now, so we might as well have fun with some assets and dump something in there. I'm just going to use my pannier because I love these guys as a train. Let's say that this guy drove in, and then from a wagon point of view, I actually have some at the end here that look awesome. And we'll just do we want that one? Actually, these ones are cool because you can get to specify how many you want. I want, let's say, give me 15 random ones. Yeah, random. Let's go completely random. And actually, we can probably go all the way up to 20. Do we want, this is more bulk materials. What I really want probably is more of a, more of a wagon, like a box wagon, I think. Do we have any box wagons? Looking. There's something more like this would be interesting. Yeah, these ones. So we don't get the multi-select thing, but that's fine. Let's go. And we'll just fill this up and give ourselves a bit of a diorama. They all snap quite nicely, so it's pretty easy to get the buffers so they're touching each other. But the idea is they're parking here so that they can unload directly out of the wagon into that shed. It just gives us a bit of action. I think long term what's going to happen is I probably am going to bring like a machines type train into here. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be, but I'm setting it as a goal. I want to have a train that comes in there, parks, unloads in here, then leaves. And we may do the same thing on the other side. I do want to put a dock down here. I know I said I was going to do it this episode, but I've been researching that and it's a massive project and I want to do that in the future. All right. I think that will do for now. This, as I said, this session will get the dock thing on it, so I'm not going to play with it anymore. Let's get this worked out. From a road point of view, we've lost the entrance, so let's get that reestablished. And that's kind of cool. Let's do a quick amount of detailing here. We'll put a gatehouse here. I do like this one. This one's going to be, where's on the ground? On the ground. That's probably a bit big. Where's the SB one? SB, I want this gatehouse instead. This one's cool. I like this one. And we'll put that quite close to the road. And we'll put some barriers across the road. So I think that one goes that way. I think these are a bit bigger than I think, but oh well. Up, rotate. And that can represent the security area. And then talking about security, let's give this a road. Do I want that one? No, let's go with one of these. And we'll go, probably a semi-solid wall here. Let's go, we'll go this way first, I think. I think I'm going to stay parallel with the road a little bit. Yeah, something like that. And I think I'm going to just, is there a kink in that road? There is a kink in that road. So we'll go from there to there. And to there. And for now, I will finish it off. But I wouldn't be surprised that when we do the boat, it will change. And then we can finish this off with some rapid diorama stuff. Let's get in some of this stuff. Let's go big boxes, 6, order. I don't know, I'm just choosing random things here. And it's going to be a platform. Actually, that doesn't need to be that big. Let's not go high. So let's go a lot of low, but yeah, a lot but low. And so for some reason, these guys are queued up to go. And then we probably need a ramp or something, but yeah, that can be later. All right, let's focus on the highway. My plan is just to use the natural roads. And I think there's a couple of spots we may clean up a little bit. We'll make it so it's a bit straighter. I think that's fine. That's fine. Do I want that kink? Yeah, why not? And around it goes. So I think we want to, obviously we want to bridge across here. What I want to do today, this is my, you may have seen this in the thumbnail, is I want to put an airport here. I want to reserve a spot where I know that we can put an airport in the future. So roughly, you know, I want to stay to the left of that road. So something in here. Let me get rid of that little bit of road, and we'll get rid of this. Oops, that's not what I want. We'll get rid of this little bit of stuff. Bit bigger. And let's get an airport in here. I think it's wise to maybe go bigger than smaller, like have it, ready for more stuff in the future. I'm going to push it a bit more to the left, and I think I'm going to put all the cargo stuff here. I'm going to make this an interchange between the cargo system and the airport system, so we need a whole lot of freight stuff. My goal for this episode, or this airport, or at least for now, is I'm going to make this a military airport. So rather than it being domestic, it's going to be basically the Reeds military compound, and we'll start building up a little military story. The question is, what do I want to use? So I have all these mods, or I can just use the default one. The problem with the default one, see how it's got dirt? I don't know if I like that. I want the taxiway to actually have a bit better than that. So these are all mods, and I don't think I want asphalt either for the runway. I think I want concrete. Let's try with this. We'll go with, well, I think I'm going to modify it anyway, but I'll go with one terminal and then we'll modify it. Let's keep it pretty far back. I think around there. Is this lined up with the world? It is. Everything's way easier if you keep it to the grid. And see how it's over here, it's kind of digging into the world. I don't want to have to do any terraforming. So let's put this here. Hopefully I'm not going to regret that being too close. And let's make this thing full length. So these GA ones come from from a mod I've got. And what happens is it's exactly the same thing, but it makes dirt out the front rather than concrete. And I want this one to have like concrete pavers. So as far as these mods, we'll be using the building ones rather than these. I want to make this quite military, so we're going to have a little bit of a think about like security point of view. So what I'm thinking is, that's not what I want. I want like I want the planes to be queued up somewhere kind of secure, which means I don't want passengers getting too close to the military aircraft. So I'm going to put the passengers way over here on the right, and then you have to have one of these buildings. So we'll do the building because they come in on the building and then walk across this way. And then we'll put cargo to its side. I do have this mod that makes a helicopter-based cargo one, but we won't be doing that right now. So they'll walk that way for passengers, and then this will be a security compound. And what I'm thinking is we'll do 2 of these big sheds. And then I want to put down some assets as well. I don't know whether I need... Yeah, I think I might actually put the terminal, this one, big one, on the left-hand side. So we'll keep the big military aircraft way over here. And then we're going to use the Ingo assets to flesh it out a bit. So let's make sure that this whole area is pretty flat, which I think it is. I think it's really good, actually. And then we'll get a whole big cargo area going. Yeah, that's good. So Ingo, where are you? I know Ingo under this barn thing has this hangar, and we use this for other reasons. We tend to use this on farms, but it is like a hangar. So if I make it huge, that's pretty cool. And I'm going to give it an asphalt road, and it should come out. Yeah, it comes out this side. So I can actually make locals come visit it. So what I'm going to do is planes aren't going to come into this little area. So I'm actually going to kind of leverage that as part of the diorama. Can I line that up this way? I think I might. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. A small gap there. And I'm going to try to get 2 of these down. So I'm going to give them a bit of a gap. And And hopefully that road will be acceptable. And then we'll continue down this way. And we'll do the same thing here. And I'm going to go all the way into the property and use build anyway. And so that kind of gives us an access road. So then we'll put a whole lot of fences around it. And then this way we can be a little bit more official. Maybe even a beautiful street one, actually. Yeah, nice street one. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So we'll put some type of security gate around here. And yeah, so what I might do is this last bit. Let's make like this area the security compound. So we'll go out there. Then I'm going to come out this way. Where's 90 degrees? Flat. Get rid of this. And then we'll change it into that highway road. So that's kind of like inside the airport. And much like I did it over at that train station, let's put in some security walls. I'm going to go a bit more modern, I think. Like something like this. And yeah, I think this should work fine. And yeah, so we'll put in, it might need to be bigger than that actually. I think it's apart from, I don't know how we want to do this. I think something like this, because I want to make it so you can see stuff. And something like that. Actually, if I lined it up with that point, that would be nice. So let's line it up. I keep on pressing wrong thing here. Do I like that? Yeah, because I want people to go through a gate. Actually, that's good because the gate can be on this side. And we can have these things again. And that one can go there. This one can go here. Now, my plan is to allow people to come in here. And can I get one of those in there? Really tiny, 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 tiny. Can I get that in there? Or have I kind of messed up the spacing? I think I've messed up the spacing a little bit. I don't know if I can get that there. That's a bit annoying. What I might do is I'll give myself more space. We'll pull this out. We'll make these all go out here. So let's make this 30 long and we'll make this quite long. We'll get this to actually give us our length. And I'm going to get rid of the actual raised platform. And this should connect. It does in some way. And I think if I put that right there, and we'll play with this a bit, I think we can make a pretty good compound. So this can now define our width. This comes out to here. I'm doing this because these hangers because I want people to actually come visit, and they will if we have these roads. They'll come through the gate and they'll be friendly. And yeah, around the front here. That works well. And this will come out this way. This highway needs to get redone because it's not exactly at 90 degrees. And I think, did I get that straight? Oh, I don't think that was straight. Let's bring that highway across. Yeah, that works. And into the airport, and then we can have it in and out. I think that would work kind of well. And then we'll make this. I'm actually wondering whether we should make this one-way roads. That way we can have like a bus terminal in there. Yeah, actually a bus terminal there would be quite nice. Let's just use the de facto one, the default one. And what I'll do is dock that. Can I make that dock? If I get rid of this, yeah, some of this is me just knowing how the game works, and so I'm kind of playing with its abilities. And if I put that all the way, you know what? I'm actually tempted to go all the way in, and we will actually attach this directly. So done. And then we'll put the thing out the back here, and I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, if you go across the intersection, it's guaranteed to be at 9 degrees. Yeah, so they can come in, go around, and I don't know if we need them on both sides, but I think that looks pretty cool. I think that works pretty well. And then we need our security fences. So let's undo this. And I think the heights have got a little bit wonky, but I think we can just deal with that. And then, yeah, we can have maybe across here as the cargo entry. Actually, we'll have in and out, I guess. We'll have an in and out. And yeah, that works. And then bit of gate action, and turn off terrain alignment, and then you can go there, you can go there, and then we need these security houses. You can go there, you can go there, and then let's have fun with fences. I think now these metal ones will look pretty good, and so we'll have. Can we snap it to the road? We can. If I do +5, is it fair way out? All right, so I want +3.5, I think. Yeah, 3.5, I think. And then we'll route it along the road. And oh, that was terrible, Donut. You can do better than that. Let's try that again. And my phone's going ding. Ignore it. And come on, snap, snap. And then finish. And then I think that we get one too many panels there. There we go. So your security gate there. Not that it's really obvious that's the security gate. And when it comes to cargo, we've got the drop off. That looks cool. Let's do some manipulation of the surface. I think I prefer this surface everywhere. Is that going over the top of that? It is. Interesting. So, yeah, I think I'll make sure that we'll leave that texture on the concrete. Do a very gentle one, and then yeah, fill this in. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then I have to get inside. And I think we have the makings of a pretty cool little area. Make sure we get all the grass inside there. Not that you'll ever see it. But there we have it. Yeah, it needs fences, it needs tons of stuff. All right. Let's make sure that this road works. So I think this road looks interesting coming into town. So let's use that one as our main corridor, and then we'll go around here, and I think I will get semi-close, and then I'm actually going to raise it up a bit. So we'll go up 2 notches, and then we'll come across flat, and not for too long. And then from a bridge point of view, let's go some simple steel thing. I think I'm going to modify that, Yeah, and then I'm going to get rid of that and then relay it because I think we can make it a little bit better. Not the best, but that'll do. That'll do for now. And then this highway needs to go somewhere just from a realism point of view. So let's get to the end of the field. We'll go around this farmer's stuff. I suppose over there, I guess. And we will bring this kind of up here, and that can curve onto there. Nice. And there we have it. All right. Let's do some upgrades. So we'll upgrade all this. Make sure it's cool. Yep, you know what? An old stone fence can go there. And I'm going to upgrade probably there. All right, let's get a new line made and start getting... Okay, I'm going to press play. I don't know why I'm pressing play or why it wasn't running. New line. And we're going to go from here. And we've got to give this a nice color. Let's go... I'm not seeing many greens around this area, so we'll go a nice green. And we'll come over to here. Not the biggest of platforms, but you know what? I think that's okay. And so this is going to be Reed's Airport, I guess. If I can spell right. Reed's Airport. And while we're at it, we'll call this one Reed's Airport. And Reed's Airport and Reed's Airport. All good enough names. And I like it, yeah. I think that looks pretty cool. I mean, the default airports are pretty good, but it is nice to have a little bit more going on. And yeah, let's get some stuff on the line. Actually, I should do delivery first. So that was kind of like drop off. What I might do is we will make another platform. So this is going to be inbound. What we're going to do is make a nice big one. This one can have low one, standard width, high capacity, footpath connections, and then let's turn this around and then we'll make this a bit shorter, like 10. And then we'll come in at 0 degrees on the left-hand side there. It comes in the other way around. How am I going to do this? If I do 0 and 0 and turn it, can we make it reach? All right, so that's 80. If we make these 20, can it reach? It can. Nice. So if it's going to be like that, let's make it huge. Let's make them narrow but huge. And yeah, look at that. People are coming to do work. See that? Because we made the road access to them. Yeah, it'd be cool to see a whole lot of stuff move around like that. And a quick paint there. And a quick paint there. I think that looks pretty good. I think there's some things like, you know, trees. Even though this is an airport, you still want to have like a nice look to it. So, you know, it's just like a constant type of thing like this would make it look pretty cool, like a little corridor of trees, and then we can maybe have something else out here, different cadence. Look at all those people. They're loving it. All right, and then this can be the way that stuff goes into town. Maybe we change it so this is the drop off. And then this is the town. I do like this one because it probably has more capacity. Yeah, all right. Let's do a drop-off and get the food into town. Looks like it's all on the left. I am going to spread it out a bit. So let's start with there, and there. And it looks like the cars, the bus station is doing the same thing around here. And there. I'm not too worried about the fact that it may be a little bit, repetitive over the bus. It'll be fine. Let's go from here over to this one, this one, this one, this one. Let's not repeat that green. Let's go for a nice teal color, I think that is. And yeah, that gives us some delivery around town, and we'll get some stuff onto this. Let's go with something, what do we want to do? Something new. Yeah, I do like these. So let's get some of those on the line. Let's go with 4. I don't know what the rate's going to be. And there we have it. All right, so we are in a reads. Let's get some of this renamed. Whenever we do stuff into town, we always call it delivery. Delivery into reads. And then as far as this is concerned, this can be the truck, cargo, intercity. It comes from Ambridge and it goes to Reeds. And I don't think we put any trucks on that route yet, if I remember right. No, we did not. So let's get some of those. I think these guys can drive around and over the bridge and get here somehow. Let's buy, so those are 60. I'm looking at the speed here, 60 and 60. And yeah, let's do these ones. Yeah, let's do these ones. And I think we'll put on 5 for now. Actually, they've got to go a fair way. So let's go for 10. And then they can be on the truck cargo. So now, in theory, if everything is correct, if we do this and everything clicks and everything's going white, in theory, the cargo train should come in, drop stuff off. A lot of it goes here for a local delivery over here in Ambridge, particularly as it's delivering mostly the bread right now. We can see, yeah, you can see that it's 47 breads have come in, or that's the rate that it's getting bread. And then in theory now, they should go down this road. If we find that, you can see that across there. Tiny rate, 62 rate. And then these other guys should take it into town. 73 rates, roughly the same. And then these guys also want bread. And if I click on suppliers, if I'm correct, yeah, there we are. So across the world, 4 has been queued up onto some infrastructure to get over here. And yeah, success. So that's pretty cool. All right, last thing I want to do is have fun with this. Currently, we don't actually have any other passenger-based airports. We've only got cargo ones out there. So what I want to do is one last quick thing, and I'm actually going to set up a little bit of a military diorama here and get some traffic going. First things first is I think I might put down some planes first. So these are all off of a German website. Thanks to Hushly, I actually saw them find this site a couple of days ago, and I went, you know what, that's pretty cool. So they're all German, from what I can tell, or most of them are, and yeah, it's just tons of plane assets. I have downloaded the submarine ones, and we'll play with them in a sec. Actually, you know what, this submarine, you can go snooping around Smallfield. So yeah, this guy is currently steaming past Smallfield for some weird reason. And over here, that's why I kind of want to put these hangers down, because I wanted them kind of like a little, think of it as like a museum, you know, a living museum. So that's so this one is a whole lot, and there's also a whole lot of these. I don't know why these two get split out. I think it may be different mod creators, but there's so much to choose from. Helicopters. I want to be kind of time sensitive. There's this beautiful old like Wright Flyer type thing, so I'm tempted to put that kind of out the front here as a diorama. I think if I choose Ingo, this one, base plate, yeah, look at that. I can do this. Let me put that right there. And then, where was that Wright Flyer? There, right there. Let's put that on display right there. Yeah, it's cool. Love it. Yeah, but over here, that's why I want to have a lot of this space. We can fill this up with tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. So we can put a this thing, like a very Red Baron type thing. So this deactivate thing is important. If I actually choose that, you see there's actually 2 planes there at once. And if I choose that, there's 3 planes at once. So you need to deactivate the one you don't want. So you deactivate everything. So there's nothing chosen. And then you choose one of them. So we can put that there. I don't know which any of these are. Well, that one's kind of cool. Ooh, I like that one. Let's put this one like there. And deactivate, choose that one. Yeah, actually, that's like a Red Bull one. See that? That's cool. Yeah, but I like the idea of having a whole lot of like diorama stuff out and keep on going. Yeah. Oh, this one's cool. Old, dastardly do-right one. So let's put this one out here on the out on the tarmac. Let's put that one right there. We should be, from a space point of view, okay. I don't think they're going to clip wings too much. And there's so many to choose from. So helicopters, I don't think helicopters is the right thing. Fighter jets is probably a little bit new for 1946. Well, I know it's too new. So that's that one. And then for this one, more stuff. More fighter jets. This is a little bit older. We do have some barn stuff. So I don't know whether we can get away with that. Maybe in here we can put this. And then we can just paint underneath it. Yeah, that might be okay. And then let's put something kind of... So I need to deactivate it. I need to deactivate and then choose that. So, yeah, so maybe for some reason some of these are like in a display like this. And this one is out the front here. And like that. Yeah, we can have lots of fun with this. So let's go one of these. And what I might do is put one like that and one like that. Yeah. Now, obviously, you don't have to limit yourself to that. I mean, we can have fun with people parking their cars and stuff as they come visit. Maybe it's even an old car display. Maybe that's what we do long term. Is we turn this into some type of museum. Yeah. And what else do we have here? So we did that one. I think we got mainly across to most of the important ones. And yeah, I can picture maybe people having flights and stuff. Yeah. Big thanks to Hashi for pointing out this website. It's a German website. It's down in the comments or in the description of the episode. You have to download. Oh, this one's big and huge. That's cool. Yeah, that's definitely cool. We've got to have that one. Yeah, so what you do is just download the zip and put it in. Well, I actually put 2 there. So there we go. Deactivate. And oh, look how big these are. That's cool. Yeah, like that. Something like that. Yeah, if that's going to be like that, we do need a way through. I am tempted to add another road that looks like it's a taxiway. So let me put this. Oh, it's got this stuff on it. That's not what I want. I want something that's more highway-ish. Maybe that. Is that parallel? I think it's... Let me try it again. Let me start from here. I'm getting that circle icon. And I think that works. Yeah, so that's how they get around. That's how they can taxi and go over to there. Yeah, that should work. All right. Last couple of seconds. Let's have fun and actually get this animated. So currently this could take off, but then the question is, where's it going to go? If we make a route, where's it going to go? So I have a mod that lets us play with that. And so what it is, where is it? Is it under... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So what it is an airfield that is virtual. And so is it a special type of building? Is it a waypoint? No. Is it an asset? No, it's not. Let me double check that it's loaded. Okay, it's about an hour or so later. I have worked out all of the issues and gone and detailed the airport. Didn't want to have the episode end with it just not finished. I really wanted to have it looking just right. This building right in front of us is the remote airstrip mod, and the reason I couldn't find it is it doesn't turn up until 1950. So I jumped time forward, got it placed, and then put time back to 1946. The way it works is it makes a virtual airport, and I've actually already made the route. So if I click on this, you can see it starts at this airport. It starts at Managed Line, the Airport Museum, which is this place, and then it goes to this flyby. So even though this looks like it's close, this airport actually has an offset, and it's actually way out there. So the planes do take off, and they do actually go over here, and they do land on their airstrip. And it's a good way of just making a little diorama type situation. And with this airport museum, it's kind of like a joyride flight, so that works quite well. The airport itself does have needs, and you actually can see that there's actually a person there, even though there's no airplanes on it right now. So this one's been treated as a land beacon, and it rotates, the radar rotates. You can also put it in the water, and I'm not sure what Assistant does. You also can specify how far away it is. I've just done 10 kilometers, so it doesn't have to, we don't have to fly too far away. 10 kilometers is about half a map. So these maps from there to about there, I believe, are 17 kilometers. So 10 kilometers means like roughly half the distance of the map away. To give you an idea of scale. If you go up to these 200,000 ranges, they say that a Concorde takes over 15 hours to do that. So that's what this mod does. It does have needs, in this case residential. So people are like out there living in theory, and it's 50 people is the minimum. And so that's why you actually get an icon here, because this person actually is way out there, even though it's shown here, and they want to come here and work. So that's all set up. So let's put some planes on the line so those people can get to work and all that type of stuff. We do have our hangar. As you can see, I detailed this a whole lot. Let me get some planes on this, and then we can have a look about what's on the ground. I'm going to do it by speed. It has that sort of before. And let's get some fun things on it. These only have a capacity of 1, so they're not going to do much. Do I want to go speed, or do I want to go capacity? I think I might go a bit of capacity as well. So let's get one of those, and one of those. So that will give us 15 capacity. And then just for the fun of it, for some flyby stuff, let's get one of these beautiful red ones, and this, have this one with the 10 on it. That looks kind of cool. Now, this isn't going to make money, so this is not the smartest economical thing, but it is cool. So I'm calling this the Reeds Airport Museum. We have a line, and we can watch these guys come out. They're going to be in a big pile on top of each other. How cool does that look? Let's get above the ground here. Looks like is this the Messerschmitt? I think it might be. It came out first. It looks like the pilot is the passenger, being 0 of 1. I'm not seeing any spare seats. And these guys will space themselves out. I went round, worked out where the boundary of the airport is, put in fences, and then just use the random tree brush to fill in. Oh, that sounds great, doesn't it? To fill in kind of like the patches. And then I placed a huge amount of planes. You saw me place some before, but I just placed another 10 or 20 at least. Oh, that's cool. That'd be an awesome joy flight, wouldn't it? Wheels even go up. Nice. Sounds great too. So I just went around, put all these trees in over here. I actually cleaned up the bridge a bit. I made it a little bit more square. And just a whole lot of hedge work, a whole lot of random trees, a whole lot of fences, and a huge amount of placement because we're not using this side for the bus. I put some static buses there, and then as many planes and trucks and stuff I could to make it look really busy. If we like hover over this, you can see how this thing's missing the plane in the middle there, and then I actually got the same asset that this is and got some squeezed over here, and like they're unloading. And then lots of trucks and stuff, and then obviously all of these. I made a little diorama of that pad again, and this time made a bigger plane over here, and just really fleshed the whole thing out so it looks kind of like a compound. So in theory, all of the cargo ones are controlled by these gates here left on the right, and the passenger one comes through. This is a one-way road now, and yeah, I think it looks really good. I like all of these little things, so like particularly these little trucks I think work quite well. And so I actually did make a little additional diorama over here with the shed, used a lot of forklifts and put some of these small trucks down. This is the smallest truck I could find. This is under Ingo's one, so under trucks, out of all these, I think it was, yeah, this little guy. I put this down and just, you know, fleshed it out. And I even made it so that someone, for some reason, is visiting over here, checking out the radar. So then we can go. Ooh, we just have an arrival. Oh, doesn't that look good? That looks cool. Yeah, there's a big German community behind Transport Fever 2, and a lot of the non-standard mod sites are in German. They're not too hard to navigate. The browser, I tend to use Edge. Edge does a pretty good job with its translation feature. It changes the German into English, and so this site is quite navigatable. And so it's fun to surf around there and just download the zip and have the extra assets. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, and overall, you know, for something that was just really a cargo-based delivery thing for Reeds, where it came in off the green and then gets transferred into town, it was kind of cool to do a bit of a value add. At the other end, I also did a tiny bit of detailing here. I put a couple more crates down, a couple of forklifts, a couple more things here, and a whole lot of trucks. I'm not seeing any goods queue up on the station, so that might take a while. I also changed the line to say, hey, wait until full. Actually, let's see if this train here has anything destined for there. We'll see it turn up on the platform. Actually, I'll turn on, we'll highlight this first truck, because if they do get unloaded, it'll go maybe directly into the truck. I do like the scale of the trains now. I think it's great to have these big, huge things go around the network. And I also like the fact that we had GNR on these. So will any of it come across? Yeah, there. Yep, some food came across, and yeah, that will be probably one of the very first deliveries to Reed. So then send him off, and yeah, as trains arrive, the rate will go up and up, and yeah, it will be a success. Well, talk about success, I think that was a successful episode. I loved making the new airport museum. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. This remote airport mod, I think really does help us just generate a bit of a diorama as it goes off the map and comes back again and gives us all these joy flights. And we'll have to do something with the cargo spot at some point. We'll take a bit of a ride with this guy, Lufthansa or something. And yeah, we'll definitely call it the end of the episode. If you got this far, definitely shove a like on the video. Well, that's very close. I'll have to maybe get rid of those planes on the verge there. Yeah, shove a like on the video. Definitely put down in the comments the next industry you want to do. My focus going forward for a while is to establish a lot of industries before we move on to diesel. I want some basic things like stone into bricks and stuff like that done. If you want to see any particular type of detailing, because there must be someone, there we go, someone's coming in. Yeah, if you want to see anything particular type of detailing, you can go, hey, can you make a bus depot, or can you make a abandoned mine or something? Or particularly when it comes to military, I found a huge number of military assets. You can go, hey, can you make a army training center or something, and we'll work out some type of game mechanic that will let that have a bit of action to it. Yeah, so yeah, and then of course press the subscribe button if you want to see more of this action. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time in the areas.